So good morning to everyone. So today we are continuing with the calculation of noise margin or VUL, VUH and VIL. So today we'll see the calculation how to do the for the VIH. So already we know this is the inverter. So this is the inverter schematic, and this was your VTC curve. This is called your VTC curve, voltage transfer characteristic curve. In this curve, there were 4 points: VUH, VUL, VIL, and VIH. Based on these 4 points, we do the static behavior analysis. That is, we do the noise margin calculation. So, so VUH, if it is a perfect CMOS inverter, what was VUH? VUH was a VDD, and VUL was your totally discharged to the ground. And for VIL and VH, we use the set of equations, the MOSFET set of equation, that is linear and saturated. We have used for the VIL expression, and we got some VIL expression. Now coming to the VIH, again we will do the similar analysis, but in this case, if you see this M1, earlier it was saturated, but now this M1 will be in the linear region, whereas earlier case the MOSFET PMOS was in the linear region, but now it will go into the saturation region. This means in the equations part, I will interchange the mode of operations of both the transistors. So this is the calculation how we will start with the calculation of VIH. Okay. So in this, we know at the VIH what is the property, that the slope will be here -1. Okay, the slope will be here -1. So we know this property will exist at VIH, and at that point, while doing the calculation, we will substitute V in equals to VIH voltage. Now from the mode of operation, we know the transistor NMOS will operate in linear and PMOS will operate in saturation. Once I know they are operating in on condition and their modes of operation, I can simply apply this KCL rule, that is total current, the flowing incoming current is equals to outgoing current, the IDP is equals to IDN, and then their suffixes shown that it is PMOS is saturation and NMOS is in the linear region. Now using the equation of linear region, what was it was, just recall, half Kn is nothing but mu n Cox W by L of n. So Kn by 2, half mu n Cox W by 2, 2 VGS minus VT into VDS minus VDS square. Okay, so this is the linear equation of the NMOS. Now coming to the PMOS we have to write the saturation. So saturation we write as half mu P Cox W by L of P into VSG of P minus mod of VT of P whole square. Okay, so this can be also written as, here this is nothing but your Kp, this 2 will come here, and this VSG, I have written VSG, here it is written VGS. So if I want to transform like in this form, in the given print, in the equation form, so I can also write this like as VGS, the minus sign will come out, so minus VGS of P minus mod of, if I remove the mod, what will happen? VTP, we know the threshold voltage of PMOS is the negative. So if I remove the mod, the minus sign will come out. So minus, and in the bracket also, so here minus of minus VT of P. So that is nothing but VGS of P. If minus sign comes out, and this is in the square form. So minus 1 whole square VGS of P minus 1 I have taken out. Then VGS of P minus plus will become again minus VTP of P square. So this will become plus, and we will get this back, this equation. So these two equations are nothing but the same. Okay, if you are taking, you have to be very careful whenever you are designing, you are using any design equation, whether you are considering the mod or you are taking just with the convention sign value, you are doing the calculations. Okay, so this will be the equation my prime equation. So I can say this is my equation 1. Okay, from where we will do the analysis. Now coming back to the schematic, we will list out the variables. So we know for the this is your NMOS. So in your NMOS, what is VGS? VGS is nothing but V in. What is VDS? VDS, that is drain to source. That is nothing but your V out. What is VGS of P? G to source of P is nothing but G. VG is nothing but V in. That is your VG. And Vs is nothing but your VDD. So V in minus VDD. And what is VDS of P? That is VD. VD is nothing but V out. And VDD is nothing but Vs. So these are the four variables in where I will substitute this. I will replace this VGS and VDS by their by the input and output variables. So this was the equation 1. In this equation, I will substitute all the VGS and VDS values. So VGS and will become V in, VT on will be remain at is, VDS and will become V out, and this will be your V out square, and rest will remain the same. What about VGS of P? So VGS of P is V in minus VDD. So V in minus VDD, this will complete come out here, and VTP is constant. So this is the equation where I will now rearrange the equation, and I will use the property of the slope that at that point my slope was minus 1. So this property I will use to find out what will be the VIH value. So when I will use this property at the instant, when I will use this property at that point, I have to substitute V in equals to VIH. Okay, because this exists only at this point. So let us take the derivative. To derivative both the sides. Again, if you see in this, in the RHS part, here V in and this V in, only one term is there. So directly I can do the derivation. Whereas in the left hand side, you will see V in is existing in this term, and also okay, V in and V out. So here is V in and V out, two terms are there. So in a product form, the variables are there where it is a isolated term. So here I will use the product rule. Product rule means taking one as a constant, do the derivative, again taking another as a constant, do the derivative. So let us expand the LHS term. The LHS term, what will happen? This is product one, and this is also say that let's say it is also product 2 because it is in a square form. Directly also you can write here. And what about the RHS? In RHS only V in term is there, no V out, so a simple derivation exists for the RHS part. So for the RHS directly we can do, if we do RHS, what will happen? Derivative of this one will be equals to Kp of 2. This 2 will come out here. It will be V in minus VDD minus VTP of P. That's one. So 2 will cancel out. We will get Kp into V in VDD and VTP. So we got Kp into V in VDD and VTP. Now LHS will use the product rule. Product rule, you know. So here this is constant. So Kn by 2 will come out. Then 2 into, first we will do the derivation of this term. So V out into 1. So V out into 1. Then second, take the derivative of V out. So V in minus V out into V in minus VT naught into dV out by dV in. So this first term is over. Now coming to the second, again here minus V out take as a constant, take the derivative. Then second, again the second is also existing the same form. So V out and the derivative. And then just rearranging to here V out by V in, and this equation and this equation are same, so we can add these two and we will get here 2 V out into derivative of we can take the slope dV out by dV in. So and using the property, so the final LHS will be in this form, in form of derivative. Now use the property and substitute here minus 1. So this is the complete equation, and this is the complete equation where I will use the property of dV out by dV in is minus 1. So Kn V in minus V out, in this place the minus 1 is used, in plus V out minus V out, and derivative again here slope is minus 1, and Kp into this whole term will repeat here. Okay. So now it's just the rearranging of terms, that is Kn. Take V in and V out at one place. So V in minus Vt naught will come with minus sign. So minus V in plus Vt naught plus V out, and minus minus will plus V out. And this side will be Kp, V in, Vdd, Vt naught be no change in the RHS. Further, minus V in, V out is 2V out and Vt naught, and here Kp no change. So we got this equation. Now we know at this particular point, when my slope is minus 1 and we are doing VEIH, we can substitute D in equals to VIH. So in place of V in, VIH is introduced. So it will be Kn. In place of V in, your VIH will come Vt naught as it is 2 Vt naught, and then again in place of V in, VIH will introduce, and other things will remain as it is. Then rearranging for in form of VIH. So what you will do? Just do all the take this Kn inside and take the VIH at one place and others constant in the RHS part. So this is the multiplication done throughout with the constant Kp and Kn everywhere. Okay, and then rearranging in terms of VIH means take VIH in the LHS part. So this is one VIH expression and this is another VIH expression. This equation and this equation both will come in the left hand side, and remaining all the constants, because we have to evaluate VIH, this all constant will go into the RHS. Okay, so in the RHS we have pushed all the variables. So now VIH is a common here, so it will be Kn plus Kp, and remaining in the RHS it will retain as it is. So from here we can take that minus sign, so multiply by minus sign in both the sides, you will get the this form. And then what will be VH? VH will be this will go into the denominator part, that is here, and the numerator part will be the RHS part, that is Kp VDD, Kp Vt naught, Kn Vt naught, and 2 Kn Vt naught. So this is the VH expression which I have got in terms of Kn and Kp. But we know that we have defined one relation, that Kr equals to Kn by Kp. Okay, so this can be replaced by doing the, let's say, divide the numerator and denominator by the Kp part. Then you can easily go with the normalized equation, or we can go with Lee, so that we can remember very easily. So Vdd plus Vt naught, this will cancel out, this will cancel out, this ratio will turn out into Kr, this ratio will turn out into Kr, and you will get this numerator, and whereas in the denominator it will be, this will cancel out to 1 plus Kr. So VH you got totally in this form. Now in this equation, if you see, this VIH is a function of V out. So here I can say, let's say this is equation 2, and it is a function of V out. Okay, so it is a function of V out, not the constant, plus let's say V out and constant. So in order to get exact value of VIH, we should know what is V out at that point of time. So how to evaluate then? Then what we can do, again we will go for the expression, the first expression, what we have written, this equation. So this is the equation which is the which we got from the mode of operation of MOSFETs, and the VI. So this expression, equation 1, and the equation which we have got now, the VH, it is after doing the derivative. So that two equations, we have got two different equations. So using two different equation and two variables are there, we can easily get the value of VIH. So we will recall this equation, and this equation you can substitute this VIH value. Okay, so that resultant you will get your VIH as a function of simple. Okay, so this is equation 2 and this is equation 1. So 1 and 2, there are two variables, that is VIH and Vout, and two equations you can easily solve and get the value. So we'll verify this one through a problem. So before that, okay, so what is the noise margin for the CMOS inverter? So for a perfect CMOS inverter, we have seen that VOL is 0, VOH is VDD. This was a VIL expression where the problem was it was a function of Vout, and also VIH is a function of Vout. Okay, so we got all the four equations. Now how to calculate the noise margin using the formula noise margin. So for perfect CMOS inverter, what will be low noise margin? VIL. So VIL has having some expression, and what is VOL? VOL is 0. So we can say the noise margin, low noise margin for a CMOS inverter will is a direct function of VIL, whereas high noise margin will be equals to VDD minus VIH. Okay. So this is a example. So consider CMOS inverter with the following parameters. So these are the parameters given for the CMOS inverter. So what are the parameters given here? VDD supply is given, that is 3.3 volt. The threshold voltage 0.6 is given. VT naught P is minus 0.7 is given. Kn and Kp is given. So from here what we see here, that okay, VT naught is positive. So definitely it is a NMOS, that's why it is a positive. Minus sign is saying it is a PMOS, that is 0.7 volt. And this mu and Cox W value is how much? For the NMOS case, they have said it is nothing but 200, and whereas for the PMOS case it is 80. So calculate the noise margin of the circuit, and so we have to calculate the noise margin of the circuit. Now in calculation of noise margin of the circuit, just recall the equation. Here if we recall, VIL and VAH, this is the expressions, and VOL and VOH. So here one thing is to see is that VT naught and VTP, the magnitude of these two are not same. Once the magnitude are not same, we cannot say it is a symmetric inverter. Okay. What happens if suppose the threshold voltages are same? What will happen? So in this equation, VIL and VH, just assume if the VTH is same for the both the MOSFET, NMOS and PMOS. This means this VTP and this VT on is same. Here also VTP and this VT on is same. So what will happen if it is a perfect inverter? Your KR, your KN by KP will be how much? But almost you will assume that okay, it will be equals to 1. So we can get here 2V0 VTP and VTN. This both will add get, so 2VT minus VDD divided by 2. And what about this one? It will be again KR is 1. So 2V naught plus KR is 1. So VT1 and this VT1. Again 2VT will come here plus VDD by 2. So if you see here, if we add VI, if you see here VIL and VIH expression, we have got it the same type of behavior with the VDD sign change. So if I take the mod of VIL and VH, what will get the value? Okay, not mod. If I L VIL and VH, what will be the value? We'll get here 0. Okay, so for a perfect CMOS inverter, if the threshold voltages are same and if KR and KP are 1, then we say it is a perfect CMOS inverter. So that's what it is shown here, that it is, since it is not a CMOS inverter, so we have to separately calculate VIL and VIH will exist there. So how to calculate VIL? So VIL, this expression was there, and VIH, this expression is there. So in VIL, substitute the values, that is VIL expression to Vout. So Vout we don't know, so this is not known. VT not P, it is given here. VDD is given. VT not N is given, and KR. So what should be KR here? So Kr is equals to Kn by Kp, and what is Kn here? 200 by 80. Always when doing the calculation you have to be aware of the units, so there are same units, micro, so they will cancel out. We will get here 0 0, so it is 5 by 2, that is 2.5. So what is Kr is 2.5, so Kr is 2.5. So we got this value also. So when we substitute all the values, 2 V out minus VTP is given 0.7 VDD and Kr into VT naught. So Kr into VT naught means 0.6 into 2.5. It will give me 1.5. Divide by 1 plus 2.5. So we get here in terms of V out. Okay, we have got VIL in terms of V out. Similarly, for the calculation of VIH, in this you substitute all the values and you will get equation in terms of again V out. So to calculate the exact value of noise margin we cannot do, because this VIL is still having one variable and VH is also still having one variable. So what can be done next? So next can be done that recall that standard equation and substitute these values. So let's say for VIL we will go. So VIL we have got this equation. Now VIL this equation I'll substitute into the standard equation from where this VIL arrives. Okay, of the CMOS inverter we have to calculate the noise margin. So this problem was actually came onto your exam also last year. So this type of problem will come. So where you have to check for all the parameters. Now in this problem, what can be the first we will solve that problem, then we will discuss. So we were calculating VIL and VH. So VIL we have got this equation 0.57 V out minus 0.71, substituting all the value of VIL and VH into the expression. So what we have seen here, that VIL is a function of V out. Still we have not got a numerical value. If in the case of VIH also the same problem will exist, because we are getting a V out expression here, so we don't know what is the V out at this point of outward V out. We have to calculate noise margin, so we are again getting in terms of variables in the RHS. So how to solve this one? So we will recall the standard what we were assuming at that time of calculation, that when VIL was existing at that point of time, my NMOS was in the saturation and PMOS was in the linear region. So NMOS saturation means saturation equation, and this is the linear equation. So that was equation 1. So in this equation we substitute this VIL value. So substituting this VIL value means in place of V in, VIL will be written. So 0.57 V out minus 0.7, this is your VIL. Again this is your VIL. Okay. So what will happen? Resultant will be all the term will come into the form of V out, and this is a quadratic equation. Quadratic equation you know how to solve. There will be two roots. So one root positive value that will be taken as a V out, that will come as 3.1 volt. Okay. So this 3.1 volt, the root which I have came, it will be substituted into the VIL expression. This will go into the VIL expression, that is 0.57 into 3.14 what we have calculated and minus 0.7. So this will give me VIL value. So VIL we have got 1.08 volt. Similarly, we'll calculate the VIH. So when we have got this VIH value, and then the case of the MOSFET when VIH was there, that was your PMOS was into your saturation and your NMOS was into your linear region. So just recall that equation 1 in that case and substitute this VIH into this equation in place of Vin. So this is your VIH. Here Vin is substituted. Here in place of Vin again. Vin minus VDD. This complete is solved, and this will be the equation. Okay. So again what we see here, this is in form of V out. So we get a quadratic equation. So among the two roots, one will be the solution, that is 0.27. And then substitute this 0.27 here. It is wrong. It is 0.27. Okay. You will get here 1.55 volt. So we have got here VUL equals to 0, VUH equals to VDD, VIL we have got 1.08 volt, and VIH, that is 1.55 volt. Now using all these four, we can calculate the low noise margin and high noise margin. In the formula, just substitute the value, you will get the noise margin values. Okay, so this way we solve the calculation of noise margins. Now maybe there can be cases that instead of VT1 it is written that VT is equals to 0.6 volt. VT of MOS, like question will be VT of MOS is zero point 0.6 and minus zero point 0.7 volt. So that time in the equation there are different VTP and VT naught. Okay, different places are there. At the same time both are existing. So you have to be very clear this which is VT of which MOSFET. So from the property of the nature of the MOSFET, we know for the PMOS, the MOSFET, the threshold voltage will be negative. So definitely this will fall for VTP and this will fall for VTN. Okay. So this way we calculate the noise margin of the CMOS inverter. Now similar can be the case in place of your PMOS, I can use a simple MOS resistor also. So if a resistor is there, then what will happen? Whether the same expression will go? So no, that expression is invalid for this type of inverter because that expression is derived only for the CMOS logic when there is a PMOS load. Now when there is resistive load, then what will happen? So directly we'll jump here. So for this, for your information, if this is if input is low than VT naught, so definitely this MOSFET will be in the cutoff mode. Then when input is increased, so we have seen from the VTC curve earlier the NMOS is off, and when we increase the voltage, NMOS enter into the saturation. So it will enter into saturation, and later on stage at the bottom stage it enter into the linear. So linear region will come. So this analysis will not do. This analysis is well known. So it will start with 0 cutoff mode. It will go to saturation and it will go to linear mode. So this was for the NMOS case. Now since there is no PMOS, a simple resistor is there. So it will directly obey the relation of V equals to IR drop. Okay. So in that case, what will happen? So so this is the VTC curve will be there again. According to the property, there will be two slopes, minus 1, and a point will be there where both will be where V out will be equals to V in. Okay, and expressions will be V out expression will be, if suppose a current is flowing, it will be V out equals to VDD minus VR. VDD minus VR. VR is nothing but Ohm's law IR into RL. So this will be your V out expression. So from here I can derive the equation for IR. Now calculation of VUH. What should be VUH? Now since what is VUH here? So for VUH we need that NMOS to be in the off condition because we need a high logic. So when NMOS is off, so no current is flowing through the NMOS, and since here no resistive load is at the output, this IR is equals to ID. So I can say IR equals to ID equals to 0. So when IR ID is 0, so what will happen? VUH value. So in this expression IR is 0. So when we substitute, we'll get here VDD minus RL into 0. So that is equals to VDD. So when I am calculating VUH, or when the input is low, my V out will be equals to VDD. So VH we have got equals to VDD. Okay. Now coming to VUL. So for the CMOS inverter, VUL was 0 because NMOS was conducting and we said PMOS is in the cutoff mode. Now, however, in this case, when NMOS is on, a path will be there from the VDD through R through NMOS. I cannot say this will be in cutoff mode because this is a passive device. So what will happen in this case? So we'll go for the analysis. Now we know from the property when a low logic is required, my input should be high. Okay. So let's say my Vin is equals to VDD and at that point my VOL will be seen. So how much will be the VOL? So when I will calculate, then when Vin is very high, so what happened to the NMOS? So we have seen when Vin is very high, means in the curve when Vin is very high means we are calculating VOL. So NMOS is into the linear region. So NMOS will be into the linear region. So when NMOS is into the linear region, I will use the linear equation. So, and also we know the property that IR is equals to ID, because this direct path will be there. There will be no current in this direction. So we know this property, and also we know IR is equals to, from here we have seen IR expression VDD minus V out by RL. So we'll substitute here IR equals to this value. So we can substitute this IR equals to the linear equation. So this is your IR current, and this is your NMOS linear equation current. Okay, that is half Kn by 2 VDD minus, that is VDD minus VT naught VL minus VL whole square. So this is nothing but 2 into VGS. VGS is, this is VGS. So VGS क्या है? What is VGS? VGS is VDD. तो यहाँ VDD is placed here. VGS minus VT into VDS. So VDS कितना हो चाहिए? That is VDS is nothing but VOL. So VL minus VDS square, that is VL square. So this is the equation. Now in solving this equation, complete equation, you will get VOL expression in this form, which is not equals to 0. Okay, this means in the low logic, the inverter will not completely discharge. The charge stored at the output will not completely discharge. This will be the VOL expression. Now going to the VIL expression, so VIL expression will go as it is, like we will use the property of slope of -1 and we'll write the equation. Now coming to the equation part, what will happen when VIL we are calculating, we have seen the NMOS was in the saturation region. So for the saturation, this is the equation, that is half VGS minus VT whole square. VGS is nothing but V in and VT naught whole square. And what is IR? VDD minus V out by RL. Both current will be the same. Now taking the derivative will give me this form. Place the value of -1. So we will get a VIL in this form. So here you see there is no V out term. Okay, there is no V out term. Okay, a standard equation of VIL will come, and this VIL is a function of RL. Okay, that is low VIL is a function of RL. Now coming to the VIH calculation, again VIH will use the same property. However, during VIH my MOSFET will be into the linear region. So using again the same property, this is the through the resistor current, and this is the current, this is IR current, and this is ID linear current. Equating this to current and then taking the derivative, will get here -1 and Vn equals to VH, will get an expression for VIH. So this is your VIH expression. So if you see, we have got VIH, VIL, VL and VH, that is different from the CMOS. So this is the equation which is valid for the resistive load inverter. Similarly, if we replace load by some other type of load, then again these relations will change. So that's why I said that these are not the standard equations, these are the design equation. Such type of equation we call the equations which change with the configuration, we call those as a design equation. Okay, so these are the design equations. So and when we are doing the analysis, again we are looking for the type of circuit. According to the type of circuit, we see what type of configurations can be there. So coming to the noise margin. Okay, so this is the noise margin curve for the resistive low inverter. VOH will be always equals to VDD. Okay, that is VOH. And what about VOL? If you see here, VOL is changing. So from here, if you see a big drop is there, but here a less, and here also less. So how this drop are changing? This is changing upon K and RL value. Okay, see here. Depending upon the K and RL value, it is changing. So when K and RL is high, then VOL is coming approximate to coming to the towards the ideal inverter logic. However, when K and RL product is less, it is moving away from the ideal value. So, and this is nothing but VIH. At this point is VIH. So we can check VUL or VIH expression, which is a function of KNRL. So you see here, it is a function of KNRL. And actually, if you go for VUL expression, so this is VUL expression. You see, if KNRL is less, what will happen? My VUL value will be high. And if KNRL is high, my VUL value will decrease. Okay. So from here we can conclude, if I make KNRL high, I can go towards the ideal inverter case. However, the problem will be KNRL, if I increase, what will happen? Either I have to use KN high or I have to use RL high. KN high means I have to use of large dimension, because mobility, because KN is a function of mu P Cox and W by L. So mobility is not in our hand. Cox is the oxide thickness. So oxide thickness and all this comes from the manufacturer side. So we cannot alter that oxide thickness. However, if oxide thickness is altered, then device dimension is altered, means long size is there. So that is the different cases. So in the user hand is only W by L. This means changing W by L, I can control the low logic. However, if I increase the W by L, means what? We are going to the large device dimension. So large device dimension means again high package density, and also thing means comprising large number of transistors on a single chip will not be valid. So this is not, this will be a problem with this. Now alternately, if I can use high RL, so if I increase the RL value, so what will happen? My power dissipation will increase, because there will be IR drop when NMOS will be on condition. So this is also a problem. So that's why resistive based inverter is not preferred compared to the CMOS inverter. Okay, so that's why CMOS inverter dissipates low logic, low power, if I compare with the resistive load based inverter or any type of other inverters. Okay, so this is all about the noise margin. Similarly, if you change some diode connected or any load, you have to go through all the equations from starting. You cannot say that this equation I will directly put there and I will calculate the values, because these are your design equations. Okay, so whenever you solve any question, or whenever you do any designing of the inverter, you have to first verify which type of inverter you are going to design, what is type of load, because the type of load will decide the logic levels. Okay, the driver transistor and the load transistors, both characteristics you must be knowing before designing any inverter. So this was your inverter case.